Hey everybody, welcome back. It's Valagar Aloevain, back for some more Dungeons & Dragons Online. So for this quest here, it brings us back into the marketplace, towards the market bank. And the quest giver is Krobin Bix. Now talking to him, he is the entrance, and it is for a quest called the Tower of Frost. Now, it's been some time since I've actually run these ones, so I'm not 100% familiar with them. I know what to do. I will be able to, show you everything there, but I might not know the most optimal path for this here. I do remember it can be a big pain. There's some really annoying enemies. But yeah, let's get her done. So the first thing here, it does start you outside of the tower itself. And yeah, it's pretty much it just lets you see the outside. Then you're gonna step in.
A voice booms from the magic mouth. Welcome to Theobald's home. Your actions are being monitored for security purposes. Enjoy your stay.
So yeah, pretty much lets you in. You can check out some of these rooms here. They have some notes lying about.
Remember, for your own safety, please keep your hands.
And again, as you can see, you can open up and fight the things. And I love that while you're killing them, they're actually dropping money behind. Like, I think that little attention to detail is just amazing. So I do love that attention to detail, that when you kill the essentially animated coins, that gives you cash. Now, as you're going around, you will see guys, and so on and so forth. So the first thing you need to do is head to the center. Actually, kind of check out this Eye of Rizia. Now you are going to need to interact with it and attempt to take it. At which point, the security system comes into play.
Please, do not touch. That was both ineffective and unwise. Security forces activated.
So there we are. At the same time,
this elevator is clearly the work of House Cannith artificers.
Alright.
Theobald has spared no expense in equipping this tower.
So as soon as you go and you interact with the orb, it will start to let you up past these guys here. Though as you see, the second that you try to make your way past, they become angry. Now, I don't believe you actually got to attempt to click the eye. I think you can actually just try to run past these guys, and it will initiate this part of the fight, allowing you to, well, start heading upstairs. Now, you do need to head upstairs. And essentially head on all the way through the quest. Alright. Now onto the kitchen. Each floor has a different kind of theme to it. So the first one was just a showcase. This one is obviously the kitchens. Alright. So we do have a bunch of breakables. Alright. So as you can see, guys in the rooms, nothing special here. I don't believe there was nothing behind that. So at this point we do have another room with coins, which I will be killing, just because I love killing things. Now, as you see by the door there, it is blocked off, so we can't actually progress just this second. We do need to do a little bit more on this floor yet before it will actually let us to proceed. And that is to head into this door here, right at the bottom of the stairs. Now, once we come in, it does tell you to defeat the ice methods. Unfortunately, as you can see, we can't actually target them just yet, as they're only doing 0 damage. As you enter in the room, however, and kind of approach them, we can start to kill them. And as you can see, if you kind of just go slow, you can pull them little bit by little bit.
The temperature rises with the method stone. It's still chilly, but some of the ice cracks.
And as you can see, as soon as the methods all die, it spawns in these orcs. And it also drops down this ice barrier, which we can then disable our first ward. As you can see, we do need to disable a total of 4 of them. And at this point, it does let us continue on up the stairs. Alright, so our next floor looks vaguely similar to the first one here. Now, what I recommend on this one is actually kind of work your way around the outside first. And before heading inside here. Reason being is it's so much easier if you don't have the trash to deal with on top of everything else. And then I always make sure to stop and kill the little pet here as well. And by letting the cat out, as you see, it does pull out a couple of guys from the center room. So those two guys that were in the center room, they're now on the outside, making it easier for when we gotta go to the center room and kill everybody. Okay, nothing in there. Nothing here. Alright, so there we are. So all that's left now is these couple of guys in here, so we're gonna drop a turret.
A brightly colored ticket sits on the table.
Now in here, you definitely want to make sure you pick up your claim ticket.
You found a claim ticket, which says
And then pull our lever here.
Metal grinds against metal somewhere in the pond.
And that will open up this door right here, allowing us to head on up. So now we're going to want to head to our storage level. So it's pretty, you know, pretty straightforward, pretty simple-esque quest. Now what we're going to want to do, as we've picked up magical item, we're actually going to want to talk to the guy and present the lamp claim ticket, which will open up the door, allowing us to pick up our shiny lamp. Then we're just going to continue. Gonna head over here and kill these guys first. Alright. And then again, a whole bunch of oozes. much the fact that it actually does AoE and a lot of damage. Super nice, super handy. Though the oozes here, again, skippable, but they're easy enough to kill. Alright, from here, we're going to want to head down, just past that, and we're going to have a whole bunch of obvious armors on the wall. Kill whatever ones spawn in, pull your lever, and that'll open our door. Continue to the garden. So now in the garden, we're gonna have these hedges. Now you can fight and kill the hedges, which will open up the path moving forward. Now you do gotta be careful, as there are also enemies. So I'm going to start off by heading left.
The leaves and branches of a nearby bush suddenly twist into motion.
There we go. So here's some of those enemies I was mentioning. Just kind of chilling there. Now, as you can see, we can actually target them one at a time, which makes it super easy to eliminate them. However, if we would have head down the middle path there, it would have put us in a position where we did have to fight them all at once. And with 2 champs and the Reaper that we had gotten, it might not have turned out as easily. Alright, so the ones we gotta watch out for the lions are actually these kind of shrub bushes there. So it's kind of just gonna be going around here. I personally, I like to open up all these paths. I just find it easier to traverse the level if everything is dead. Plus all the extra XP you get. Downside is obviously it takes longer. So again, you don't have to actually go through and kill everything. All that we really need to do is actually get to the end. We need to kill our hedge, which, as I'm sure you saw coming with all of the hedges next to it here, spawns in a few lions. Once that's done, we can move the floor tile, which will disable our second ward. Now, somewhere on this floor, you will find a little squirrel named Nibbles. He isn't technically required, but it isn't optional. Now, as you can see, he's right here. It's a little squirrel. All you gotta do is talk to him, you pick him up, and there you have for that optional. Alright. But anyway, now that we found pretty much everything there is to find in here, which is just, you want to head to the back here, interact with the hedge, which will spawn in a whole bunch of topiary lions, kill the lions, kill the hedge, and remove the ward. If you can, you want to find Nibbles, and then in the bottom right hand corner, or the southeastern corner, we do have a stairway leading to the illusionary level. Now, this one is actually the biggest annoyance level there is. At least I believe it is this level. You will definitely want to make 100% sure you do have Death Ward. And actually magic missile resistance, I believe. Alright, so not the floor I thought it was.
The immaterial guard bow as you pass.
Alright. That would be the next floor. With this floor, also a fun one, we actually got to do some storytelling. So as you see, we have 3 basically stages. We got this one, we got this one, and we got this one. So they are numbered 1, 2, 3. Each one we want to select a magic mouth, and it will actually tell you. Price of Patch is a good story. So we gotta make a good story. So we have spurged by a family, a young wastrel drunk himself into an early grave. So we can play with these levers. And basically you want to play with them till you kind of light up which ones it's asking for here. So you'll click this, it'll kind of show you. So we want a bear cub, and we want the guy. So you gotta kind of play with them, figure which ones are which. So not exactly sure, so I am gonna quickly look this one up here. And I'll put a link in the description to the wiki page. Alright. So, again, there are a couple of stories to pick based on this option here. So the first one, we want top two and the center one. So we're going to actually turn off the rest of these. So as you'll see, it is now set up. So it's lit up for the yellow story. So again, you want to continue with the yellow story. So for this case, we need top center, bottom here. Again, it is lit up for the the yellow story. And you just want to play with these levers until you get, any one of the stories, but you need the same color lit up on each one. And finally, yellow again. So he drank himself into an early grave. That is the story we chose.
Your story was delightful, exclaims the magic mouth. Here, let me open the way for you.
And once that's done, he will open the door. So this one here, it can take a little bit. Again, I'm going to put a link in the description for the actual page. Again, all you got to do is choose a color. The option for the blue is actually probably the easiest, which is story number 3 on his list, and it's the bottom center. And then on the other ones, it's the bottom ones on the left and right. So left, right, not bottom center, and then again bottom, left, right. So it's makes it super easy to get through that one just by choosing story number 3. Again, as I do apologize again, as I've said, it's been a very long time since I've run these quests. Mostly because the amount of XP that you get out of this one truthfully isn't worth the amount of time it takes. However, the quest itself is kind of unique, and I definitely recommend playing through it at least once. I do really love this storytelling mechanic where you literally get to build the story, and you got all these different props. Depending on which levers you pick is which story you're making. Alright. Now before we head to the next floor, I am going to use the shrine, and then I will rebuff. And the main reason I'm wanting to use the shrine is we do have another spell slot, so I can actually grab deadly weapons, which I did forget to do when I had taken level. So there we are. Deadly weapons. And that will, definitely allow us to do a lot more damage. Alright, so before you actually head to the summoning circle, I do recommend buffing up as best you can. And away we go. Now, this floor, this is actually where you use the lamp,
At the center of this large
and where you can use nibbles.
surrounded by arcane symbols. Surely some kind of summoning system.
Oop. That's not good. As you can see, there's a whole lot of these guys. They have spawn spots on the floor which you can't see. As you approach, it blows up, spawning more. So kiting in this one can actually be really dangerous. So just be careful. As you see, I did spawn a few more than even I was intending to spawn. So that's those guys.
This ward is protected by a magic whirlwind that pushes you back if you try to touch the ward.
Just want to make sure we got them all. Does look like we got them all. Alright, so once you've done that, you do want to head into the summoning circle. And as you can see, a few more of the annoying guys. Now, they're overly not that difficult. Like, they have, what, 1200 hit points. It does... actually, I'm not thinking. Ranged feats, improved precise shot. There we go. To now hit multiples. Forgot about that one. And yeah, for anyone who's read about the nerfs on the improved precise shot, honestly, like as you see, I'm still doing almost my full damage. Like it has dropped. Noticeable drop. But again, you're hitting multiple targets. Yeah, if you're just fighting one thing, that's rough, but all you gotta do is click off, done. Now you don't get that negative damage anymore. So it's really situational. I should have been using it for the fact that we are fighting large groups. Alright, so now at this point, we're going to want to select the summoning circle. And first, we are going to place the shiny lamp on the altar.
Before you in a gust of hot, dry wind.
Now we'll spawn a Jin, which we can talk, and grant us a wish. And he dispels the whirlwind. Allowing you to disable the ward moving forward. Now, if you did pick up Nibbles, this is also where you would place him on, and it will spawn in another optional to defeat the Fae. So as you can see, so we're doing about 109. I'm gonna turn on that, and I'm doing about 80 to 90. So, you know, lost about 10 points of damage, which is a fair amount of damage. But in the grand scheme of things, it's not that bad. Alright, so once we're done that, we can actually select to incant a magic phrase. And nothing really happens. You get some funny dialogue options, and there you go. So from here, grab our loot. This you get if you do the optional for nibbles. If obviously you don't have them, all you gotta do is place the lamp, which will dispel our rune. And from here we can head up to our library. Now this is the one that I absolutely hate, this floor. Now the reason is because of the enemies that are on the floor. So I'm just gonna get some buffs. There we go. And let's head in. Now the enemies are magical books. So they start off, they're kind of hard to see. Not getting any there. As we approach here, there we go. Bound chain lightning. We'll also have other ones as well. Oh. Gotta use full charge of this. So there we are, living disintegration. And as you can see, he is immune to force. Awesome, some lag at the perfect time. So yeah, you just get a lot of living spells, and they just really hurt. So it's best to definitely move slowly. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Just move slowly, take your time. Ultimately, if you rush, you're gonna die. So just take your time, stay alive. Alright. So on this side where you see the giant boiler, on the back side of it, you will see these tower salamanders. And there's a whole lot of them. As you can see, they do have trouble making their way around. The bookshelves, if I remember correctly, are semi-safe. Obviously, they do have a little bit of range on their attacks. But, I mean, you're not getting completely overwhelmed. And there we go. So that will have... Oh, I wanna... Man, that flame hurts. Alright, there we go. So where all they were hiding, we got our last rune tile.
Wards protecting the Eye of Risia on the ground floor are
Now, we're
disabled.
also going to
You've
run into
disabled
a
one the
vial
magic
of
wards
demon
protecting
blood,
the Eye of Risia.
which again, we can pick up.
The tile of demon blood. No doubt it's an ingredient for one of Theobald's experiments or rituals.
Get ourselves a nice little secret door. Now, the vial, like Nibbles, is going to actually be used on the previous floor at the summoning altar there. But before we do that, we are going to grab our chest. Grab some of that free loot. Alright, so I am going to head back down here. And I'm going to head and drop off that blood, as at this point we won't need to come back once we do that there. Place the demon vial. There we go. So again, more of these stretches. And then aside from them, we got a big old Gristoro. Which, in my opinion, that's like a Minotaur, a proper Minotaur, not like all the other ones we're seeing, but I guess it's a demon Minotaur. But and then once he dies here, just like before, it's going to give us another chunk of XP. Overly not worth it. As you see, about 1700. We do get another chest. So I mean, it's something. It is free loot. But named items don't drop out of those ones, to my knowledge. Alright. So at that point, you can head back up to the library where we were. And as we've cleared everything here, we're going to now head, I believe, to the next part here. Yeah, so we're going to head up now to the security level. Alright. And this one, as you can see, whole lot of traps. So we got levers, doors, and traps. Now, what you're going to want to do is just kind of follow the path. You've only really got one direction to go. And then you're going to want to step on the button. Stepping on the button will teleport you in. And when you are teleported, you will have a few enemies. If you go again, slowly creep up, you can somewhat get them one at a time. Making it a little easier on yourself. Of course, you can also just, blitz right ahead, spawn them all, slaughter them all like, total badass, but and they are all ice based here, so fire anything really. We'll do some nice nice damage to him. Give myself cold resistance. And then we basically just keep progressing around. Now, at specific points, it will let you pull a lever to kind of open up to kind of checkpoint. But ultimately, you just need to keep progressing around until you can again step on the lever, or the button rather, and it'll teleport you to the next section. And it's essentially you keep going around and around like that. Alright, so this one we have a button right away. Or again, we can hop around the corner. We do have some pressure plates, which we can disable for some traps. There we go. As you see, we did get tamper. And again, we can pull the lever to open up our gate as kind of a halfway point. It also gives us access to a shrine, which I am totally going to use. So yeah, as you can see, we are kind of slow moving through this quest. It is definitely, for a free-to-play standalone quest, a little difficult, time-consuming. There are obviously spots that you can speed it up. With these enemies, you know, you could just blitz past them, touch the button, keep going, but it will give you a fair amount of alert through the dungeon. A few more pressure plates. There's our full bonus. Ooh, I hate champion ones. Alright, so there we go. Alright, so there we go. And you're gonna want to head all the way through these dogs. Right up until our last lever.
Multiple doors flaying open nearby.
Which Essentially will, if you have it at this point, it will open up everything. We also can actually head in here with these methods. And we can solve our tiny little puzzle here and get into our elevator. Now, as you can see, this has a four-way here, so you do gotta be a little bit careful not to have anything connected to it, just to help you get through it without actually activating the trap. So there we are.
Now powered by magical energy, the elevator is ready to use.
So at this point we can now use the elevator, which we select it, and head to any of the floors that we are currently on. So ground floor, level 3, 5, 7, 9. So it's a nice way to jump throughout the quest. As we do gotta head back down. So if we, for example, miss something on one of the floors, we can jump to that floor specifically. I do want to point out, if at any point you then click one of these puzzle tiles and turn off the power to the elevator, I don't know if they fixed it yet, but it makes it so that you cannot use the elevator anymore. So it is kind of a little bit annoying. Alright, so now that we've done all that, we're going to want to actually head on through the door to the inner sanctum.
You've reached the top floor of Theobald's Tower. The sound of howling wind can be heard from down below.
So in here, a whole bunch of these ice elementals. And apparently a Fear Reaver. So before you actually get to the end fight, which is up here, I do highly recommend killing all your elementals. Just, this is gonna be the end of me. That. Yeah, I'm dead. Those champions, they do so much damage. Alright, but luckily we are prepared for this. I'm just going to head around the corner here. Call you there. This. Alright. So I'm actually going to use some greater fire weapons. Just for the extra flame damage. We're going to focus right away on those champions. There we go. There's one of them. Yeah, with these guys, and if they're a champ, it's definitely easier to fight them in its face. It tends not to use its special abilities as bad.
But the wizard is entombed in ice, standing before a howling portal to Rizia. Perhaps the manuscript at his feet describes all this.
now cleared this floor. Now it does tell us to obtain the eye. Now for obtaining the eye, we actually need to head back down to the main floor. So this is where having that elevator comes in handy. So we could actually done that before we came to this floor. Doing so can be a little dangerous because you could get to the end and accidentally start that whole fight. Where is that? It's in here somewhere. We're looking for that elevator. There we go. Hostile. It should be that corner. Here we are. So we're going to want to take the elevator down to level 1, or the ground floor. At this point, now that we've disabled all the wards, as you'll see, the eye itself is no longer protected. So we can interact, actually pick it up.
The Eye of Rizia is bitter cold in your hands. Now to close the portal to Rizia.
Now, and again, because we have everything, we can select the elevator, head right back up there. So activating the elevator saves so much time. Alright, so now we're back to the Inner Sanctum for our end fight. Alright, so what I'm going to do first is I am going to use my turret. We're going to click on the portal, throw the eye into the portal, and then here we are. Bring out some frost giants. And this is our end fight. So we do want to kill our frost giants. It has a bunch of trash and a big old name guy. I find it easier to take out trash first. Pop around the corner here quickly. Get a fresh death ward. And then just finish this guy off. Once he dies, bang, there's your XP. As you see, it took us almost an hour to get through this for 30,000 experience. With the optionals, we're looking at 40,000. Like, ultimately, so totally not worth it. It is fun, unique quest, and it can give some interesting named items. It says you see 17 to your MRPR, 7 con with some qualities. They also have a rune arm that can drop out of here, which I'm actually looking to see if I can get. No luck for me. But that's it. Like, it's a simple, straightforward quest, but the mobs are kind of brutal. At this point, all that's left, of course, is to recall out, turn in, and in my opinion, don't run the quest again. Like, I really don't like this quest. It's very difficult for the amount, for what you get out of it, be it the loot or the XP. You don't get enough for the difficulty that you gotta push through. But you guys got to see me die, so hurrah. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys later. Have a good one, all.